Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have quite a bit of brand new Xbox news coming out over here, where some of this stuff is coming out that will be leading towards a pretty big and pretty, awesome Xbox changes coming out in the very near future. So this is going to be a little bit of an update that's also really related towards the PlayStation 5, but for some odd reason, no one's really talking about this, and it kind of was skimmed over. Now, if you guys may have seen some of our PlayStation 5 videos discussing it, you may have the rough idea on what's going on with the Oberon upgrades, and the fact that this will also be affecting towards all the Xbox set. We also have a few other Xbox updates too as well, which I kind of wish would also be coming over here to the PlayStation. So we're going to talk about this, kind of do a little bit of a nice Xbox video, because why not? The Xbox openings are usually pretty cool. I do want to give a big thank you to everyone who checked out our prior video too as well, with the brand new launch of our nice little kind of music brand and all of that. And we're going to go talk about that a little bit more, we're going to have a giveaway also tied into with that too as well. So in case you guys just want to go and get a chance of free stuff and get the hookup, we'll make sure you guys are all good with it. So a lot of things to go talk about, a lot of things to go bring it up, and a lot of good news, I would say, for the future of Xbox all in this video. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. That'll be ending very soon. We'll go launch up our next one, so make sure you guys are subscribed with that one. We got the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow. And of course, we have the Target links, Amazon links. We keep on mentioning a lot on the Weeble, because the Weeble promotion with a bunch of free stacks is still coming, and a lot of you guys have been signed up for it. Check that on out. So if you guys have had a chance to go and see a lot of this stuff, that recently we're having a lot more news on the 7 nanometer node to pushing into the 6. Now, we did go and make a video on this, and it did seem like the PlayStation 5 got a lot of attention. One article we actually had a chance to reference a lot over here was from Tom's Hardware, talking about the PlayStation 5 refresh that was boasting the new 6 nanometer AMD Oberon Plus SoC. Now, as you guys may probably have heard this on our channel throughout this week, this is going to be a brand new PlayStation 5 update that bumps in and basically makes the internals 18% more efficient. It allows for a better heat sink. It allows for a lower total weight, and as well is also able to be basically anything that was made on the prior chipset is also basically able to be interchanged with the brand new stuff. So it's kind of like I think I used the example for a GPU, where if you have like a 3060 GPU and then you upgrade to a 3080, you can still use the same power supply, heat sink, fans, CPU, whatever. You're just making a slightly better piece of tech included, so it's kind of pretty much interchangeable. Now, one really big note to push, and a lot of some of these articles are very just glossing over this, is that this Xbox will be getting the same exact update. So as you guys can kind of see with this one, it makes everything better that the PlayStation 5 is currently the very first of the big three. Once again, big pressure on the first of, where it does seem like the Xbox will be getting this very, very soon. Maybe not as soon on the dot, but the technology will be there and it will be interchangeable. And obviously, if Sony's getting it, I'm sure there's been talks of this for a while, because we have been seeing other big chipset makers spouting that the 6 nanometer chips are way more efficient and better. And as I'm sure you guys know, we've been in a pretty big supply shortage and supply chain issues going on these past few, probably years at this point. So the fact that we have a chance for a lot of this stuff to be fine-tuned, produce more, cost less, and make shipping costs cheaper, which has been a big pandemic issue, for cargo ships, flight trains, whatever it may be, trucks going from Walmart to storage places or whatever, that's a big issue. And I'm sure Microsoft is definitely already on that as of now. So as of right this, they do have the 6 nanometer chip that Sony is apparently getting more than 50% more PS5 chips per wafer than Microsoft as of this current second with its Xbox Series X processors. Though, as always keeps on pushing with a lot of these places and websites stating that Xbox will be able to go get this in the near future, and that Xbox is working towards producing these as well. And I'm sure without a doubt, because this is also a big factor of the Xbox Series S, where they actually had a really nice perk where back in the Xbox Series S, they were able to keep on churning out consoles, because similarly to the Switch, it's just on a different chipset. So it's just a more readily available one, while some of these more smaller nanometer nodes are a little bit more hardcore to get, and they probably cost a little bit more. And they're also a bit more on the higher end too. So you can basically use technology that's 7 years old, as of, let's say, the Switch, or the Xbox Series S, which is maybe 4 years old, versus more cutting edge, which I think this came out more in 2019 and became more widespread in 2020. So obviously you would not have been able to even use this in the first integrations either way. So just want to push that a lot of these articles have been stating that Xbox will be able to utilize this. That means it will probably be making the console more efficient, and we haven't really seen too many internal changes so far with the Xbox Series X yet. So my speculation on this is that it will, one, maybe make it a little bit lighter, because you kind of mimicking the PlayStation 5, you don't have to have as heavy of a heatsink. Number two, it'd probably make it a little bit maybe more, I don't want to say cheaper to produce, but cheaper on Microsoft's end, which will probably go and prevent any price increases. Although that really didn't stop PlayStation at all. And as well, that also may allow them to do a slight rework too with the actual heatsink itself, which like I said, might make it smaller. And this in theory should make the entire console run maybe slightly more efficiently, both in terms of computing power, but as well also in terms of actual tech, I keep on saying technology, I guess like electricity is a better word, usage. So you'd be basically paying less money and it'd be running a little bit maybe quieter and chiller and going from there. So this should be a pretty big Xbox update, because we're also even seeing a lot of these now changes into the, as I've been mentioning before, how they have these benchmarks coming out now. We're seeing more companies such as AMD, which obviously if AMD is making both of these GPUs, probably gonna be a big reason why they're gonna be changing these nano nudes, because they do it for consoles themselves. And you guys can see these benchmarks where the 6 nanometer RDNA2 compute units faster than the 7 nanometer Vega compute units. So it's basically just confirming that for information we already know, that it is more efficient, it runs better, it looks nicer, it's just a good vibe, and I love seeing this. This is like a good upgrade that I think Xbox needs, because like I said, we haven't really seen too many internal revisions at all, which kind of stinks. Like, I wish we could actually see a lot more. Like, it'd be kind of nice to go and see a lot more. So, just letting you guys know, we've been seeing a lot of good stuff on this brand new 6 nanometer technology, and as we highlighted a lot on these PlayStation 5 videos. Same thing for Xbox. The technology is interchangeable, which is very nice to see. And a lot of these things as well, you guys can also see the performance cuts too, where the scores and open benchmarks are way higher. And although you're using very similar GPUs, CPUs, it's not gonna be a huge bump. If you could have a small thing that goes even from like a, let's say the 8.5 to 9.6, for free on a new console owners, that's still a pretty big perk nonetheless. So I think Xbox, the owners, will hopefully one of this technology come soon. I think PlayStation is very, very soon itself. We'll be very happy. Now, we've actually have a few other little various things too as well, where we're actually now seeing a few more nice options. This is like just throughout the past few weeks, where Microsoft is actually testing new startup options to make the startups more efficiently and muting the Xbox startup sounds. Very nice to see. So Microsoft has started testing new options to mute startup sounds in Xbox consoles. The new setting is available in the latest build for the Xbox Insider. So, as you guys have probably been hearing a lot of Xbox Insider talk over here, changes with like the home screens, changes with startups, changes with everything else. And now this has been kind of nice too, because some people either don't want the startup sounds to pop up, mainly because maybe it's late at night, or maybe you're playing 8 hours, it's 2 in the morning, you don't want to wake up anyone, you know how it is. So it's actually gonna be a nice little quality of life update. Or as well, sometimes they're trying to make it a little bit quicker too, so people don't have to sit there for 15 seconds. They can watch it for 2 seconds as they're getting ready, getting comfy, and they don't really mind too as well. So basically, if you're an insider, go to settings, general, volume and audio output, and then additional options. You can go from there. And there's also options to do mute all on the navigation side too as well. And there's also been a lot more cool stuff with library views coming out in the near future. I made a video on that before, and like other different titles, different layouts, and all that stuff, which I think is super nice to see. This kind of goes into the, as we mentioned before, where if you guys just missed it, Xbox is revamping the console to make it a little bit more fine-tuned, a little bit nicer, and a little bit better. So I do think this is actually, in my mind, pretty cool. So in case you guys are curious, this one Xbox has been making some pretty good changes to as well. So, and we're also seeing like just a lot of few features that all happened throughout this entire month, which has been super great to see. They have brand new party chat features. They have also new options for shared captures from friends. And it does kind of seem like they're still doing some good Game Pass updates, because even with Game Pass, they did also go and include up the Grounded game, which I checked out on Twitch, was actually pretty good, and a few other good games coming out throughout these next few weeks. So at the end of the day, we gotta go be honest, Microsoft's been doing awesome. They also did go do some DRM issues that made it better, that anyone can go and play their prior games too as well, and they don't need to have these mandatory internet checks. But I think the hardware upgrade's probably the most important part, but you gotta have good software as well as you're running good hardware. So at the end of the day, I do think Microsoft's been doing pretty good, making some pretty good stuff and pretty good updates, and stuff that I myself am excited for, because the better specs you guys can get, or the better updates overall. I think just it's nice at the end of the day. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you guys want to for the giveaways going on. Thank you guys for checking out the Millennium announcement too. We'll talk about that throughout the week, or we'll launch up a new giveaway with it. Got the Weeble down below. Sign up, get a bunch of free stock, free money. Got that Twitter and Twitch stream down below, and the Target and Amazon links too. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.